Χαίρετε. Λοιπόν, Μιχάλη, έκανες ένα μεγάλο μπαμ. Έφερες τον κύριο Josh Bett, τον οποίο μπορεί να μην καταλαβαίνουν πολύ ποιος είναι. Πρώτα απ' όλα καλησπέριζω εσένα. Γεια χαρά.
Καλησπέρα Θανάση, γεια σε όλους.
Josh, hello.
Γεια
Thank you
σας.
for
Καλησπέρα,
being with us.
καλησπέρα Τζος.
Καλησπέρα. Maybe you could say something so that they will recognize you.
Τώρα θέλω να πιω ο καφές με μαύρη αγγλικό. Έμαθα ελληνικά σήμερα, but I guess the one thing I'd want to say is ο Γιάννης μαγειρεύει το γύρος.
Όπα, είτε!
Okay.
Ωραίος,
Do
ωραίος.
you know that right now you have gone viral in Greece?
I've been told. The thing is, because you have those channels that in Greece, we don't have those channels in the UK. So from the time Giannis played or when it was Paukada playing, I'm always getting text messages from my friends who I went to school with or when I used to work in Greece. They're like, oh, I heard you on the news today. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Okay, so Josh works for as a freelancer and he is commentating Champions League games, basketball Champions League games. Okay, this is your main work for the winter, maybe I should say. And then when the national teams begin, you are in the national team job, if I'm correct. Yes.
Yes, correct. I mean, I used to be a teacher of physical education. So when I worked in Greece, I was doing my training in Agia Paraskevi at ACS Athens, the American school. I worked as a teacher for 7 years. I was freelancing on the side, doing the commentary for BCL, for FIBA, as you mentioned. But now I'm working with the British Basketball League, the Japanese B League. I'm also working with an American company that streams the Turkish, Chinese, and sometimes German league. So yeah, Scoliazzo is that's my full-time work now as a freelancer.
Okay. Does Nick Fazekas play still in Japan?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, absolutely. And he's I tell you what, I did an interview with him in 2021 because he was the naturalized player for Japan. It's interesting because his roots are Hungarian. Well, I never asked him about his last name because I couldn't tell if that last name was Greek or if it was Lithuanian.
Yes. Or Lithuanian.
Yes. We had an interview with him last year, if I'm correct.
Great guy.
And we really asked him if he was Greek. We didn't know from the beginning. So, okay, tell me two things about the Champions League. Which team do you think is the best and has the most chances to win the trophy? And second, which is your favorite player to watch and commentate in the Champions League?
Give us 2 or 3 names, the fun to watch players.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. With the Basketball Champions League, I think in the past few years, you've always looked at Tenerife from Spain. They've always been a very dominant team. Obviously, the Spanish teams have always been very good. Back in 2018, you probably look at Dikefalos Aetos, Kitani, Mavri Ike. You know, they're very strong. This season, I couldn't pick a team for you to win it. It's so open this year. Even last year, when Bomb won it, I didn't think Bomb would win it because you look at the teams that made the final, Apoel, Malaga, Tenerife. Those were, in my mind, teams I thought were probably more likely to be winners. This season, it's very tough. It's very, very tough because you have to understand these teams that qualify for the BCL, they have to do it merit-based, meaning they have to go through the domestic leagues to get where they are. Yes. So, Peristeri, let's go, Prometheus Patras, Paukada, you know, they can't just turn up one season and say, hey, we're going to play BCL. It's like, you got to earn the right to be this. So you got to plan, you got to bring in the right personnel. This season, again, the only thing I could say to you, if you ask me which team's going to win it, Dexero, you know? I think if you look at some of the teams we have from Turkey, you've got Pinar Karşıyaka, you got Galatasaray, you got very big fan bases. The same goes for PAOK. You know, it's a monumental fan base. You know, whenever you've got the teams that have those fan bases that are competing in the BCL, those nights are going to bring a lot more pressure on those teams. So you might be the biggest name in the BCL, but that doesn't guarantee that you're going to turn up and win it, of course. In terms of players, I mean, it varies. I mean, you look at the personnel that Ike has brought in this season, Jordan McRae, I mean, he's a phenomenal player, NBA experience, played in the Euro Cup last year with Apoel Tel Aviv. You know, he's a very good player to look out for. I'd say with the other Greek teams, the biggest signing for me, which I was very surprised about, but also very impressed, was the ability for Peristeri to sign Joe Ragland. Joe Ragland for me is like fine wine. The older he gets, the better he gets. You know,
Yes.
He's a guaranteed double-double. He's a pass-first point guy. But on top of that, there's minor similarities in his game with his coach, Spanoulis, Kill Bill. And you look at the way Ragland plays. He uses 100 ball screens. He waits for the defender to go beneath it so he can step back, and he elevates very high, very similar to Spanoulis. I'd say Spanoulis was, in my mind, a predominantly scoring first point guard, but also could facilitate. Ragland's the opposite. But if you look at the way they do facilitate, I mean, they try to get assists, or in the other terms, the way they try to score, there are similarities. And I think what Spanoulis brings to Ragland is a little bit more fight as he gets older. So Peristeri, in my mind, the way this team is picked up in the play-ins, I think they could be a team that could possibly get to the Final Four.
Oh, very well, very well. So the next thing we want to do is tell you some words which you may know or maybe not, and you could try to translate them.
Okay.
Okay. So, Michali, πάμε ελληνικά.
Greek or Serbian? Greek first. Okay. Προπονητής.
That's Greek, yeah, for sure. Dexero.
Προπονητής. Okay, they are basketball connected words. They are not from the market or something. Okay, προπονητής is the head coach.
The head coach.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Now you're going very advanced to me. Okay. Πρέπει να μάθω περισσότερα ελληνικά.
Δεν πειράζει. Σιγά σιγά. You have all the time of the world. Παίχτης.
I have heard this one.
Maybe you told in some game παιχταράς.
Listen, I used to coach basketball to Greek kids, and all I remember was stamatiste, sikothiste pano, kathiste kato. But what is παίχτης? Pass it? No, the pass is pass, isn't it? Shoot?
Player.
Oh, παίχτης. Okay, so that's a noun. That's not a... Okay, so you give me nouns right now. Okay.
Παίχτης. Okay.
One more.
Δώσ' του μια εύκολη, ρε.
Okay, I have two. Ομάδα.
Ομαδάρα.
I have heard these words. I just can't...
Παοκάρα, which you like. Παοκάρα, ομαδάρα.
Ομάδα.
No, Dexero. I don't know this one.
Team.
Team. Oh, okay. Right. Yep.
Okay, so if I'm well informed, you know Serbian too.
A little bit, yeah, not too much. I mean, I'd say my Serbian is probably less than my Greek, but it's come from growing up and playing with so many Serbian friends here in London. But you can try it. It's going to be just probably 10 times more unsuccessful than the Greek. But let's go.
Okay. Don't worry. Okay. I think you know this one because you have been using it in your games. Troika.
Oh, three-pointer, yes.
Okay, Troika is three-pointer, okay. Have you heard of Lična greška?
Yes, I have, and I've forgotten this because my best friend who I was on the phone with today is Serbian, and he says this all the time. I have heard it, I just can't remember off by heart.
Okay, personal foul.
Yes.
Lična greška is personal foul. And, okay, they are maybe the only people who don't use the international term for that. Skok.
Yes, I've heard this one too. I'm trying to remember where I heard it though.
There are two types of skok in basketball.
No, this one is blowing me off. I'm trying to remember where I heard it. I can't.
Rebound.
Okay. Oh. You went very technical with these terms. This is the next step for me, is to write down the basketball terms and not just look on the beginner website of what's the basic phrases. But
okay,
it's a good education. I like it.
I like that you can speak many languages. It is one of my hobbies, so I respect you and hats. So for the end, we have prepared some phrases that you could incorporate in your games.
Sure.
As you give commentary to Greek teams.
Let's
Michael
teach
will
him some
begin.
expression.
He will tell you the Greek phrase. He will translate, and we will help you to say it for our fans.
Okay,
Θανάση,
got it.
ξεκινάς.
Ξεκίνα, πες το, ρίξε.
Αυτοί είστε.
He is.
That's who you are.
That means
That's who you are.
that's who you are.
Meaning,
Okay.
Meaning you are the best. You are very, very tough. A very
Αυτοί
tough team.
είστε. Okay.
Αυτοί είστε. Okay.
Αυτοί είστε.
Μπράβο. Not very difficult. The second one. Έτσι το βρω, εγώ περίμενα τώρα. The second one. Τι κάνει ο μύστης?
Yani o miste.
Ο μύστης.
O mistis, yeah.
Μπράβο. Something like, what does the magician do?
Oh, okay, right.
Okay. Τι κάνει ο μύστης? Okay.
Τι κάνει ο mistis.
Μπράβο. With this intonation. Τι κάνει ο μύστης? Μπράβο. Okay. Μιχάλη, τρίτο, πάμε.
Λοιπόν, πώς τους πετσόκοψες έτσι?
Once again, it is
That
the
means,
most difficult.
how did you destroy them? How did you destroy them?
Say it slowly.
Πώς τους πετσόκοψες έτσι?
Πώς
τους
πετσόκοψες? This is the most difficult word.
Πώς του κόψες, πότσο.
Πετσόκοψες.
Πετσόκοψες έτσι. Okay, this is the most difficult. Michalis will send you the text and you will learn it if you want to. Okay, the fourth one is easy. Αν είναι δυνατόν. Αν είναι δυνατόν. With this intonation. It's impossible. Αν είναι δυνατόν. Try it.
Say it again slowly again.
Αν είναι δυνατόν.
Δυνατόν. Αν είναι δυνατόν.
Yes.
Perfect.
All the Eastern European countries teams that are called Dinamo, you know, Dinamo. This is where the word comes from.
Okay, δυνατόν.
Means power.
Power, yeah, of course,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
And the fifth one, Michali.
The last one, give me a minute. Okay. Κάνε άκρη ρε. Κάνε άκρη ρε.
Get out of the way. Get out for a dunk, maybe.
Okay,
Try.
so.
Κάνε
άκρη ρε.
Ωραίος. Έτσι, σωστό. Okay, good. So, one last question. Because of your Toronto Raptors uniform.
Yeah.
Tell us about your favorite NBA team.
Oh, man. You might need to get some tissues out right now. So, it's funny with me because my father is a former professional basketball coach here in the United Kingdom. So we grew up with basketball. So when I grew up in a British household, I didn't go around the house and see magazines or pictures of David Beckham, of Eric Cantona, or Liverpool, or you name it. I saw pictures of Michael Jordan everywhere, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. And then I started going to my dad's practices at the age of 5, watching his games professionally. One player he coached was Steve Bucknell, used to play for Aris in the Greek Basketball League. So basically, basketball's life. However, I think it's a case of a story. You like the first basketball team, I guess, of either the jersey or T-shirt you get when you're a kid. That's my case, at least. And I remember my dad came home from America because he was doing a scouting trip in, I can't remember where he was doing it, but he bought me this really small for a 6-year-old Orlando Magic T-shirt with Shaquille O'Neal on the back, and I loved it. Like, it was black, it was blue, it's stars, and I was infatuated with it. It was my first basketball T-shirt. But my dad was a bit like, oh, just to let you know, he doesn't play for the Magic anymore. I was like, well, who's he play for? So he showed me the Lakers. So as a kid, I'm thinking like, well, black, blue, stars, yellow, purple. No, I'm sticking with the black, blue, stars. So then, I start going through his videos, and then I see this player called Penny Hardaway. Yes. Very tall, handles the ball. And I'm talking, my old man, through all the years he was coaching and playing, he had, back in those days were Pontel tapes, videotapes, right? Pontel was, I guess, the brand that used to sell the NBA games. Today you can obviously watch them online. And I used to go as a kid hours and hours just watching NBA basketball and falling in love with it. So Magic was my team, but then Penny left. But the funny part was I got a Penny jersey, but he left. He went to Phoenix Suns. Then what happened was Tracy McGrady was the next player. Yes. So I got a Tracy McGrady jersey. And then he left. So I kept saying to myself, this team is getting worse. And every time I get a jersey of the best player, the player leaves. So along comes Dwight Howard and, they make the finals. And I really wanted to get a Hedo Turkoglu jersey because Turkoglu was, you remember that Sacramento Kings team that he played for in 2002. That was a great team. Peja Stojakovic, former Palkada player, Vlade Divac. I always gravitated towards NBA teams that have more European players because, as someone who has European blood, my mother's family's from Italy, you're proud of that the highest level of basketball, they're European players. Now there's loads of European players. So going back to the Magic, I never bought the jersey. And then I realized I wasn't so bad luck because a few years later, those players kept leaving as well. So I bought my first Magic jersey since the Tracy McGrady one during lockdown, 2021. Mo Bamba. What happened? He left. So I feel like right now, someone in the Magic needs to tell me who's about to leave so I can just buy their jersey so they can go pretty quickly. But no, that's it, Orlando Magic. But I have to say to you, the reason I loved European basketball 10 times more than when I was a young kid was I was a national team player for England under 16s in the summer of 2006. And, when you're a young kid and you play for your national team, we were FIBA European Championship Division B. You're thinking in your mind, I'm going to be in the NBA one day. I'm going to be a pro. But I went to the championship and I was the last player on the bench. And I was, at 16, falling into this depression, thinking like, I hate basketball. I'm not good. So I went home that summer. And what happened was Greece was playing at the 2006 FIBA Basketball World Cup in Japan. And I knew nothing about, the Greek national team. And I'm sitting in this room. So this is the house I grew up as a kid. I sat on the couch there and I'm watching Greece versus the USA. And I'm thinking, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, they're going to blow Greece out. I could not believe the game I was watching. Theo Papaloukas, Nikos Chatchivretis, Lazarus Papadopoulos, the big man. I remember in the first few moments, like, Greece is actually competing. But the biggest game changer was when they brought Baby Shaq onto the game, Sofo. Yes. And I remember the USA had no answer for Baby Shaq with the pick and roll with Theo Papaloukas. A young Vasilis Spalioulis came on the floor, first bucket, inbound, catch the ball, backboard, three-pointer. But I never forget, as that game went on, I'm thinking like, I like Greece. I want Greece to win this because this is an underdog story. Third quarter got a little bit closer, but it was the game changer Papagiannakis made. He brought Dimos Dikoudis off the bench. And I remember he just kept giving the buckets off the pick and roll. And it was simple basketball that defeated the USA. Pick and roll, solid man-to-man defense. Kakouzias, some big threes in the corner in the fourth quarter.
Very intelligent player, very intelligent.
All of them, big time, yeah. And, you got to talk about Spider-Man, Diamantidis. But from that day, 2006, I think my heart turned blue and white. I just became a big Greek basketball fan. I started following Panathinaikos, Olympiakos, PAOK, all the teams in Greece. I just became, because at that time as well, my father was also a commentator for the EuroLeague and for the international games. So I would go with him to the studio. So I'd be like, who are you commentating tonight? I'm commentating Real Madrid. Okay, no problem. I'll watch it home. Who are you commentating next week? Oh, I'm commentating Panathinaikos. Boom, I'm coming to the studio with you. I want to watch this game. I want to learn because the following year, 06-07, Panathinaikos, they beat CSKA Moscow in the EuroLeague final.
What a final. What a game. What a
big
game.
time. Papaloukas was playing for CSKA.
Yes,
and
yes.
I never forget this. Papaloukas might have been the greatest European player that never started. He came off the bench. That was so that was how I loved Greek basketball.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have been very kind, very helpful, and we will be happy for you to incorporate
some of these expressions.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Μιχάλη, ευχαριστώ και εσένα πάρα πολύ.
Να είστε καλά, παιδιά.
Όλοι και εσείς που μας παρακολουθείτε. Καλή συνέχεια, καλό βράδυ. Josh, καλή νύχτα. Bye.
Καλή νύχτα, φίλοι μου. Καλή νύχτα.